All right. Well, welcome everybody to our team call. Tonight is Monday, November 12th. This month is flying by. I cannot believe November is half over. It's crazy. But I'm so excited about the next 7 weeks that will wrap up 2018. And so you guys, I was on the phone with corporate this last week. Justin went out. They had an incredible retreat for all 8 stars and above the last 3 days. And he was there Thursday night, Friday, and Saturday. And he came home, he got home today, and he is so fired up and excited. He's upstairs with the kids right now because they wouldn't let him out of their sight because he's been gone since Wednesday. But he is so excited about just all the things that are coming with Isogenics, some of the new promotions that are coming in January. I know that some of you have been around for a while will be super excited about some of the January promotions. And we're just really excited about everything that's happening. So I know that many of you are getting on because you want to hear what Emmylou's done. She's been able to triple her cycles in just like the past 6 weeks. We pulled up her reports from 6 weeks ago and from where she was to last week. She has tripled her cycles. And so I'm going to let her share her story and what she's doing. But one of the things that Justin really noticed at the event, at the 8-star event, was, the company is really excited about innovation and all the new things that are coming. But one of the things he talked about is that no matter how much innovation comes, no matter what's going on, nothing is going to change in your business if you don't do the do. No matter what company promotion, no matter, what they call the sip and sample or the launch party or whatever it is this quarter, it's if you're doing that consistent work. And, one of the things from the time we started was we got in the car and we drove to where people were. And I know people think that's like the old school way of doing network marketing. And now you should be able to sit at your computer and do everything through Facebook and social media. And you definitely make the connections there, right? And that's definitely where you start the conversation. But I know like with Emmylou, Bria's left her family in Kansas and went up and worked with Emmylou in Wisconsin. And that really changed Jairus and Emmylou's belief level. And then a couple weeks ago, Justin and I went up there and we were like, you have to do a consistent every single week, presentation for your team. And Emmylou's like, okay, we're going to commit to that. So when I got up in front of the group on that Saturday, I'm like, and next Saturday, same time. So we were like, they're going to commit because we just announced it in front of everybody. And you guys, they've been enrolling, and she'll share with you just consistently value packs, and their team is starting to see growth. And just today, we got some reports that show for Leader in Action for the whole company. And both Emmylou and Lisa Davis, who's on here, Lisa, they're both in the top 50, you guys. And so the top 50 get to go to Top Achievers in the Bahamas next year with us, and it's super incredible. And they're both in the top 50. And Lisa and her sister, I know, drove, was it 7 hours, Lisa? 7 hours to the, Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They've done that twice now. So Rebecca and Lisa have made that commitment, and you can see their business changing because of it. So, being in people's space and getting to know their families and who they are and what their goals are, building those relationships is what it's really all about. And so I'm just excited to have Emmylou on here. She's going to share her story, kind of how she got started. And some of you may have heard it, some of you may not have, and just kind of what they've done with weekly events for people, how she feels like it's making a difference. So Emmylou, you can unmute your own line.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Awesome. We can.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you for having me. I'm just excited. There's a lot of things. I think I'm a very real person. So I want to make everyone very clear that tripling my cycles, I've been an executive since I think I made the decision. And for me, I think for anyone, it's the decision. I went to NYKO and said, I'm going to run. And that's when I found 10 people who love our food as much as all of you that are willing to hop on this call tonight. And I stay there for the most part, but that was the majority of my business, was my 10 people that had 2 people. So I was cycling like 2 times a week, and now I'm cycling like 6 times a week. And I was grateful when I was cycling 2 times a week, because it was a big deal. That's $400 a month. That's a lot of money. So I just want everybody to know that a lot of the things I'm doing, I pushed back against doing. And again, I look at decisions. So as I'm talking tonight, I want you guys to always pretty much know 2 things about me. Your thoughts become you. So when you filter everything that you do through the filter of my thoughts become you, then it's a habit and a practice of making change of your thoughts if you don't like the things that are becoming of you. And you allow yourself grace when you don't. So know that when I'm talking tonight, because that shapes a lot of what I do. I don't always respond how I want to, but I respond how I need to and what's necessary for the goal. And then the other thing is your brain, the yoga teacher and me, your brain can only occupy one space in time, a positive or a negative space. So when people ask you how you're doing, not bad, you're not good. That's not positive. You're in a bad space. And then when your thoughts become you and you're in a bad space. So don't confuse that with there's things that happen in my life that are not positive, and I do deal with them, but I always find the positive, and I find the lesson, and I make sure if I made a decision that got me to that point, that I stare that right in the eyes and accept that and humbly. Things I think are very important with what's going on in the bigger picture, because I give it all to God as to why any of this is happening. And so that's the most important belief, I guess, the third belief, but first one should set. So does that help set the framework, I think, for the people that know me, how I'm going to talk here?
That's great. And I want to say to them, so just a couple notes that I've already taken, because I want to acknowledge this. So I want you guys to hear, she said she went to an event. Number one, she went to an NYKO and everything changed. She made a decision at NYKO. So NYKO is coming up. It is in like 8 weeks or something like that, right? So 8 weeks, there's still 3,000 tickets, you guys, available. So if you have people on your team that aren't registered yet, you want to call them and run a promotion. Enroll 3 people this week and you'll pay for their NYKO ticket, or do something, because when people get their butt in a chair at an event, I could pull this line and we would see how many of your decision was made at an event. So that was number one. She said once she stayed paid as executive, she has stayed paid as executive. Lesson number 2, so many people hit executive and fall out. You want to stay paid as. It's work to stay paid as. I mean, just today in our original business center, because we built other ones, I was, get the report, and one of our people on our right has one of their 2 people not active. From a business center I built 12 years ago. So I had to call and try to get that spot. It's always doing that, especially when you start building multiple spots. So, don't just think, oh, Emmy Lou's just lucky. No, she works to keep her spot paid as. That was number 2. And the third thing that I've already made a note of is she was grateful for the 2 cycles. And so some of you might be like, she's tripled her cycles, and I'm just going to be straight because I know what y'all thinking. Woo, she went from 2 to 6. You might have thought she was going to get on here and say she went from 10 to 30, or whatever. But everybody starts in the same place. Like, we started with 2 cycles, and she's grateful for the 2. That's why she has 6. And I don't have any doubt that in a month from now, her 6 will become 18 because of her attitude and what she's doing to move it forward. Attitude and action combined are the key. And so she's doing both elements. So I just wanted to acknowledge those 3 things that I think are awesome, Emmy Lou.
Thank you. And I should have, the first event I went to was ICU in Minneapolis, because Hilari had heard about me and offered to pay for my ticket, but we had never spoken or met. And at that event, I got belief in the products because I saw the whole room of people lit up like the rainbow. And then that is what made me think that I had to get my husband to the next event. And that's where my belief in the freedom, that the financial part, because the products are an obvious thing. So it was kind of a 2-step thing for me. For events, products first, everyone needs to know about it. But even when Bree came to my house, drove from Kansas, I was like, I don't want you to do the I share, you share. And sorry, Bree, because I'll never go anywhere and not do the I share, you share now. So I bless you for allowing me that grace, because that's where it's at in my business. And so again, I'm eating a piece of humble pie with everything I'm doing right now. I didn't want to do, but it's a choice of where I want my business to be. And where I want my business to be, I'm following the leaders in the company that are meeting the guidelines. And so speaking to that one more time, why I'm choosing to do events right now and hammer it home right now, because now is the absolute best time. If you do the exact same 15 enrollments right now and 10 consultants, 60 days from now, then you don't get an iPad and you don't get a spa day and you don't get to hang with the Cougars. But if you put all your action into that right now, then it's just double banking all your reward. You know, it's maximizing, it's working efficiently. So I'm about working smarter and not harder. And that's exactly why I'm doing events, because I didn't want to commit any time in my life away from my family. And so that's part of my story when I get up. So first I'm going to tell you a little bit about exactly how we conduct our events, and then the residual effect of what we've done because of these events, because it's really interconnected in a lot of ways on what's happening, and it's pretty beautiful to see. But I will tell you that the first 8 weeks, it was just a couple of us sitting there chilling. So it is definitely, consistency is the thing. So once you want to decide what you're willing to do, I would recommend minimum like 8 weeks minimum. And so we'll go over that too. But a big part of my story is it's not all about me, why you guys are here today. Obviously, you're here for something, and that's what made you actually show up in your busy lives. So my story is I was 2 months old, and God put me in a place where I needed a 60-second one-handed meal for my family, and I need it bad. I've also been blessed with a chronic disease with no cure at age 26, and I was in extreme pain. And so at 37, when a solution was presented to me that aligned with what my principles are, which is about health and science-backed and pure ingredients for the body, when that came into my life, if someone would have been so gracious to tell me at 26, it would have saved me 11 years of a lot of time. So I was a lender for 12 years while my husband was in grad school, and now he's working. So when this came into my life, I did not join the Facebook groups. I did not get on Zooms. People told me I could get a call with Hilari, and I said, that's so awesome. I know it's successful for people, but it's just not for me. And I'm like surviving what's going on in my personal family life with, we had an health issue where someone didn't die who should have, and so everyone was rallying to take care of that person, but I had a newborn, a C-section, and we had a business, so we all had that stuff going on. And so I just needed a 60-second one-handed meal, and I didn't care about anything else. So I was a skeptic with the product that came into the product belief and then the business belief, and now I tell people that very briefly, just like that. And what it really creates is I say, if I'm going to do something, at 26, I was told I wasn't going to have babies. And now at 38, I have 2 healthy babies, and I feel better than I ever have by getting healthy meals delivered to my door that makes my body feel really good. Super awesome. So I just, I really tell them, if I'm going to do something that takes away from those 2 babies I'm going to have, it has to be impactful and it has to be useful. So there's plenty of ways out there to get energy. It's how you want to get energy. I really tell them, I'm here for you because I wish someone was there for me. And I wasn't going to tell people at the beginning, but then someone kind of punched me in the gut and said, what if someone didn't tell you? And my whole entire life would be different. So I'm here to tell you that, because this is a part of a movement, and you see these before and after pictures, so you know these products work. So I'm just going to tell you very briefly about the products, and then I'm going to share with you how people get started and what we do from there. So that's how I'll introduce it. And then very briefly, and I made it longer, even just filling in blanks for you guys, than I really would for them. An autoimmune issue, just had a baby introduced when I was 2 months old. He was 2 months old. I needed a 60-second one-handed meal. That's exactly what it was about. So moving on from there, I'll ask people in the room, okay, if you've been on the products, just introduce who you are, how long you've been on the products, and sometimes they'll talk about how they feel. Sometimes they'll say, I'll ask, how long did it take you to feel the products? Because some people say, I think I felt it when I swallowed my first thing, and a lot of people say 1 or 2 days. And then hopefully I have someone in there that took like a 3 or 4 week detox process, and they, had to say, it wasn't that quick for me, but I stuck with it and it was awesome. So obviously we'll talk about, as your community gets bigger, how that clearly is something that saves you a lot of back and forth and a lot of conversations when people get a pack and they're going through that initial detox period. It's not as joyous for some people as it is for the people that feel rainbows on day 1. So everyone will talk about that, and we'll say, right, so who here is sick and tired of feeling? Hold on just 1 second. My daughter just needs me for just 1 moment. I'm solo mom tonight, and I have 1 kid in bed, and my one needs me. Just 1 moment. I'll be right back.
Okay, awesome. So can you guys hear me while she's doing that? So I love this because when we went and worked with Emmy Lou, we were in her house with her children. And the coolest part that we love about this, because you guys know we have a bunch of kids, we actually took them to Subway tonight and they were like running through Subway. And this other mom that was in there who knows us, I'm like, where's Deacon? We lost Deacon. He's our 4-year-old. She's like, well, if you guys didn't have so many kids, you would be able to keep them in order. I was like, okay, awesome. Have a great night. Leave. And so anyway, I was like, awesome, lady. But my point is, it's so cool because when we went up there and worked with them, like, that's what I'm talking about, the community. Like, their little girl, like, got up on Justin's lap and he played with her. And it's about being real. Like, one thing I love about Emmy Lou is she does, it's not some show. Like, and I think that people think you have to have the perfect Facebook picture and you have to put on this huge presentation. And that's not what it's about. It's about being consistent and doing the do and, you know, just getting into action. And that's what she's really done. Her team has done is get into action. So go ahead, girl.
Thank you. So we do that really brief introduction and try to keep it brief. A lot of times we have the people who just enrolled the week before and they feel awesome. So that energy just plays off really, really well. And then we go into the products and it's a real brief thing. Peggy shared at Celebration these words: toxins out, nutrition in, organs function better, you feel better. I'll say that at the beginning. I go, this is just food. You need to eat every day. It's a choice of what you're going to eat. People ask me if I'm going to eat this do I have to eat this every single day? No, of course I don't have to. Do I want to? It's not a system that you have to follow. It's a system that makes you want to follow it. So I'll hold up the cleanse, clean the cells out. I'll hold up the ionics, open it up, give you energy, help you sleep, hold up the shakes, full balanced meal, enzymes, gut health, trace minerals from the foods that you can't get with our vitamin pack, pharmacy grade. All this stuff's amazing. We get all these support items. We have the value pack sitting out there on the table. And so I go over that real briefly. If someone kind of mentioned an autoimmune issue, performance, something, nursing, you know, will kind of gear towards a product. Multi-enzymes are coming up a lot. So if you don't know about multi-enzymes, that's a great one because that's coming up often. And so very brief though, we don't go into product like really specific. I mean, that's literally almost as much as I'll do sometime. And I talk about how you feel from the product. So from ionics, you will feel energy. It will help you sleep, not adaptogenic herbs that, you know, we try to go always back to feeling. And then when we get done with that, and I'm going to tell you a couple things at the end I'm going to change. And that's one thing. We have the value pack set up right now, but I'm actually going to start setting up 2 tables. I'm going to have one table that has the ultimate pack on it with everything. And then the second table, I'm going to have the value pack broken up into the value pack, the premium pack, and the 30-day. So I'll tell you why. But after we go through the products, we'll ask if they have questions about the products. And then we draw the I share, you share by going out the 80 meals. And how much do you spend on a meal? It's wonderful when they say 10 because then you get 800. And then the value pack just went up a few days ago. So 605 for the value pack, right? So if you haven't watched that, you'll watch it on Hilari's website. But you do the I share, you share to Crystal Manager. So we show them how to earn $950 with a consultant and starting 2 consultants to be Crystal Manager. And that's huge because I didn't want to do that again at the beginning. And I always say that. So here's how we get started. Everyone wants to know how to afford it. This is a one-time pack. And I repeat that like 18 different times throughout my presentation because there's a lot of information coming at them and they can't hear everything and they're not processing. So I tell them one-time pack. After that, you don't have to ever order again if you want because I'm going to come back around that and they're going to. But that opens up their brain to listen to what I'm going to talk about. So it's a 30-day system and you're going to detox and you're going to want everything on this table that I just showed them with the value pack. Then from there, you pick and choose your favorite products from their online grocery store delivered to your door. And then when we go through the I share, you share, I said, before I start doing this, I go, I know some people don't like this and this starts to get icky, but starts to feel kind of icky. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, right. She's like, knows what she's going to talk about. I don't like. And then I tell them that someone next to you needs this and they can't afford it. So just let them listen to this, because there is somebody in their life that they do know that I mentioned throughout the presentation. So as I'm throwing up the products, I'm like heart booster, if anyone has triglyceride issues or heart health, and I'm going through those things. So I'm trying to, as I present the products, present some generating people in their mind from the things I'm saying about the products that it might benefit. So that's how I let them tell me about this, because someone next to them needs this, not them. And then after I'm done with that, I think what I'm going to start adding in is that script I did from PK after I do the I share, you share up to Crystal Manager. Then I'm going to go back and say, now there's this table of all these products. So if you have a family of 4 to 6 people that are all going to be nibbling on this, then instead of rolling maybe you and your husband, you can just enroll one time with Ultimate Pack. And Amy, I got to speak to Amy Van Hollow today, and she told me success about that right after PK left, that one of her people enrolled a value pack, and then there was or ultimate pack, and there was another ultimate pack, because that's what her people told people about. I got the ultimate pack, you get the value pack, or ultimate pack. And so so I'm going to start doing that with the value pack. So after I do the I share, you share using the 605 for the value pack, I'm going to go say the big table, and I'm going to say the 1,099, because again, it's going to be that second step that's going to make the value pack look even cheaper, because it's going to go $10.99 to $605. It's almost $500 less left, and I already showed them less, and I already showed them. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to add in those 2 things I have not done. So I'll have to report back and tell you guys like how that works out. But I'm going to do those 2 table displays differently instead of just the value pack, and add in that script following to see how that works. So we do that. We're done with the I share, you share. And I should mention the third thing I'm going to change is I don't want to even talk about the products anymore. I watched a really awesome on Isagenix Business this week, a couple from New Zealand. Maybe someone knows their name or can type their name that knows who they are. But it was an incredible Zoom, and it just even more laser focused all the things that I've been thinking about. But they said if their mouths are moving, they are talking about one of 2 things. They are either talking about their story, like why they do this and create personal financial freedoms, or they are directing people to a tool. So they talk about at this point in the presentation, okay, I showed you all this information, and then at that point we're handing out the sheets that have the order forms on them. And while we're talking about the I share, you share, we're also passing out just samples of bars and chips and stuff like that. Then we get to the point where we're telling them about, they get oh, I lost my train of thought because my screen totally just changed everything. That's weird. Okay.
Oh, you're stuck for a minute, Emmylou.
I share, you share. What was I at? Oh, everything's stuck.
Yeah. You might just boot it.
Can you hear me now?
We can't see you. Well, you can see you, but you're frozen. There you go. Now you're moving. Try it again.
Can you see me now?
Emmylou lives in a town like I do. When we went there, I'm like, you have to go down a gravel road to get to her house. I like her even more. Like she lives in the middle of nowhere. And so while you're getting your thought together on what you wanted to share there, Emmylou, one thing you guys, that is so important that I love that she shared is that she's not going to necessarily share all the details of the product ingredients, but how it makes people feel. Because isn't that so much more important? People want to know how they're going to feel. They want to know that they're, not going to have that joint discomfort, or that, they want to know how they're going to feel, the energy they're going to feel, the sleep they're going to have. They don't really care all the technical names of what's in the products. And then the other thing, that they're consistently doing is sharing, you share, they share. And it's so important that at every single appointment, you share, they share. I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm not going to share with Lisa because I think she only wants to hear about the shake. It doesn't matter what Lisa wants to hear about. She gets to hear the shake. She gets to hear you share, they share. Erica might just want to hear about the bars. That's great. She's also going to hear you share, they share, because you have to just make it a package deal. If you're going to talk about Isagenix, you're going to share about Emmylou. So you have 2 screens up, Emmylou. I don't know. But anyway, so, they always share both you guys because some of our best builders were our biggest skeptics, and they're doing the business because we shared with them. And for example, Lori Lober, who's been on our team for like 9 years, when I went to meet with her at a coffee shop, the girl that took me to meet with her said in the car on the way there, do not talk to her about the business. Only talk to her about the products. She's a cancer survivor. She will turn her off. She does not want to know. So I showed the products. We were sitting in a Panera, and I just didn't even breathe. I just went right to the products. I said, if you could feel like you did pre-cancer, would you tell people? And she said, absolutely. And I said, well, here's how it works. And I drew it out for her. And I mean, her and her husband now, I mean, they cycle over 40 times a week, you guys. I mean, it's just, you have to tell people because they don't know. And I don't know the couple you're talking about from New Zealand, because I haven't seen that video, but they're talking about the freedom that people can have from at every appointment, I'm sure. And that's why it's so important. So
yeah.
Go ahead, Lou.
Awesome. That's exactly, my screen went all wonky, but basically if their mouths were moving, they were talking about one of two things. They were telling their story about freedoms, or they were directing people to a tool, because Isogenics creates all these tools for you in your ISA Tools app and things like that. So, that's like the main thing. They said they never walk people through their pack, not because they don't care about people or don't want to coach them, but it's because there's a tool that Isogenics has created that here's your pack and unpacking your pack. So you don't need to do that. You can send them a tool, because when they share with somebody and somebody gets their pack, then they can share the tool that you shared with them. So even if you have the time and you have the love and you have the energy to give to that one person, you got to think about, is it simple and is it duplicatable? And can your person that you're telling them to do that? So everything that I'm saying to my team, I filter it through, can they repeat this? Can they do this? Is that possible? So that's one thing that I really like that they said that's impactful to me, because I'm willing to coach people a lot and give my time for that. But now I've directed that all to events. So that's where the event's key. When those little things come up that of course you want to help people, you're seeing them regularly at the event. So I'll get a text message and it's in between going to mom's play group and the grocery store. And like, I just drove back. Like there's a bunch of stuff going on all the time. I'll just say, you bet. Can you come on Saturday? I can tell you all about that. There's someone there actually that just went through that. You're going to love it. But guess what I do? I pick up my voice messenger on my text, on my Facebook Messenger. Since Celebration, it's become my best friend. And if you know me, my text messages are almost like in a foreign language anyway, because I use voice texting and the internet doesn't keep up with how fast I talk. So you have to use phonics. And so these voice messages are king, because you have to remember, you always have to put yourself in the brain of the person that you're sending this message to you all have crazy packed lives. So if you get a text message at the end of the workday among 8 other messages that says, this is my text message voice, come to my event on Saturday at 10:30. It's really fun. I'm so excited about what I'm. This message on Messenger is like, hey, Hilari, I haven't seen you in so long, but I thought of you because you're always tired. I get it now because I have kids and I'm always tired, but I have a solution. We hang out with a bunch of cool people on Saturdays. Are you in town this Saturday at 10:30? Let me know. Hop off the Facebook Messenger, specifically use that one so I can see if they at least opened it or not. And then I send a follow-up message. Hey, Hilari, I just want to make sure you heard my voicemail because there's something awesome going on this weekend. That's it, right? So that's how I'm generating my interest, but I don't want to call people. I honestly don't want to take the time to do that, but I'm also doing this business and I want it to be effective. So how can I get the goal I want? I want the person to come and I want to have an enrollment. I don't want to go back and forth with my thumbs with them about the products. I won't do it anymore. If they can't show up on an event that I'm regularly having, then they're not ready. And my thumbs are going to get tired and my mind's going to get frustrated. So I don't care who shows up. I care about the 1 or 2 or 3 people that do. So, the voice messaging is how we get people there. And how it started, I had it planned. I knew I was telling my husband it was all about systems before Celebration. Then we went to Celebration and it was all about systems. And then I did more training and simple, duplicatable, simple, duplicatable. You got to think about that every single time you're talking to someone, not what they're capable of receiving, but what they're capable of paying forward to the next person. And so when we started this, I said, I scheduled 2 events right after celebration when no one else on my team was running. And I didn't even know what I was going to do. I just said people, hey, next Wednesday at this time, we're going to be meeting here. And that was it. And then I came back from celebration, like, I think on a Sunday. And so Monday I got to our team. I'm like, what are we going to do on Wednesday? Like, so I was generating interest in people to come, because it doesn't have to be if it has to be a pretty little bow with me or a pretty little text message or a perfect post, it's not going to get done in my life at the stage of life I'm in right now. I have an almost 4-year-old and a 15-month-old. And that 15-month-old is like a hurricane, just trying to like figure out how to break something all the time. So, I just have to do what I can do. And so that's why I just get on that voice message. So I planned the events, and it was me and 2 other people, and then three other people. And so when it's only you and your teammates, then you start talking about your teammates. What nights work best for you? When can you show up? And so we did that for a while, and we did Wednesday nights, and we typically would have 3 or 4 teammates, and we almost always had one guest, but sometimes we didn't have any. And we didn't have our exact system then, but we generated interest and excitement, and the team got to know each other instead of me telling each other about each other on a phone call that I have time for. We all came Wednesday nights. And for my team, I give to the people that show up, because I don't have time. I will, everyone I want to come with me, but I don't drag anyone. So come to the event if you want to know what's going on, or with the team, or check in with me and I'll tell you, but I don't send follow-ups a lot like, hey, you missed this or that, because no one's doing that for me. I decided to have this event. I want to do this. I want this for my business. So again, did I want to show up every week? No. But do I want to create community? Well, yeah. Well, then I have to be there. So it's about community for me, because it's making everything else a lot easier. So then we had an event on a Saturday, and there was like 12 people that came. I was like, I don't want to do this, but 12 people came on a Saturday, and we got 1 to 2 people on Wednesday. So working smarter, not harder. If I'm going to give 2 hours to my week, then that's when people came. So we switched, and now we've been doing Saturdays regularly. And then occasionally a brand new person that comes on a Saturday knows 2 or 3 people right out the gate. And on Tuesday, they'll say, can you meet on Wednesday night? And then we'll just send it out to like the 6 or 8 or 10 leaders right now who are running, and say, hey, we're going to do a Wednesday night at this place, if you just want to send a message to your team if they know anybody. So
Lou, I want to say
cool.
something.
Yeah.
I want to say something there, because I want them to hear that. I don't know if they caught what you said, but you said more people came on a Saturday, and I didn't want to do a Saturday, but I did it. Like, I think you guys need to hear that. Like, people are like, I want to make 6 figures, but oh, it's not convenient. Well, guess what? Like, that's not how you get to make 6 figures in Isogenics. If you went to a corporate job and said, I want to make 6 figures, but I want to show up if I feel like it, they would laugh at you. And that's kind of how some of you treat this. Like, you're like, I just want to do it if it's convenient. That's not how it works. Like, if you're willing to put in the time and do what's not convenient, if Emmylou consistently does this, in 3 years from now, she'll be able to do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, because she'll have complete time and financial freedom. But so many people will do it just for a little bit of time, and then they're burned out and they stop. And then your team stops. But because she's consistently doing that, they're going with her. I just think you guys, you need to understand, maybe you're thinking, well, I thought, like I said before, her cycles are going to be 30 cycles. Everybody starts in the same place. Guess what? For Disney, she's already had a team member earn it. She has another team member that's like an eke away, and she's an eke away. So there'll be at least 3 of them that are earning Disney because of that. So I just wanted to point that out again when you said I didn't want to do Saturday, but it's what's going to build the business to where I want it to go. So I just wanted to acknowledge you saying that. You're muted again, girl. Hey, you're muted, Emily.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm grateful for my team, because they do show up. And the key is when it really gets fun is when people show up when they don't have people personally enrolled, because everybody's story helps everybody else. So when I also really think about why I'm doing this for community, and we love people to be able to come as they are. I act exactly like this at the events. I point out that Hilari, that was here a few weeks ago, has the exact same account that I have, that has the exact same account as the person who just joined yesterday, as the person who's going to enroll today. And that's very key, because that's important to me. So I tell them that these things matter to me, because they do. I don't want the icky, I'm making money off of you and I have everything better. Like, it is 100% equal. And so that's where you have to check, I think, the intention of your heart and what you do out of this business. Why are you doing it? You show up for people on a Saturday because I wish someone would have showed up for me on a Saturday 11 years ago. That's why I show up, and it is impactful. So, and I would point out, like, the last 4 weeks, or since Hilari came, the last 2 weeks, like, I didn't have personal guests, but the people on your team, because that's something really important. Someone told me the people on your team that like really get it and run like this are not a lot of times the people you personally enroll, but it's the people that they know. So honestly, it's that's what it's about. It's who they know. So I'm Brie O'Gara, like, breathe belief into me over a phone call, and I'm 2 people away from her, right? So really, it's I just want to get to the next person, getting to the next person. So the events, I was encouraging my team to do 3-way calls, but they just weren't doing them. I would offer all the time, and it's hard because it's linking my schedule with their schedule with, 3 schedules and then back and forth, and it's not effective use of your time. How are you going to use your time? I can go back and forth on 3-way calls and everyone be frustrated, or we can just say, come Saturday, come Saturday, come Saturday. So it saves a lot of just the individual time where you're with your family and you're running off real quick and you're just working with your thumbs. I don't like working with my thumbs. It doesn't align well with me. And it takes away from the freedoms that I'm trying to create with this. So a couple hours on a Saturday takes away a lot of the thumb time, and you get people there with your voice. And then when you get people there, make it fun. People are excited to be there. And then after they're there, this is like a couple of the keys. Everybody's getting the same information. So everyone heard, I share, you share. I definitely did a disservice to my people that started at the beginning because they didn't know what they know now about the products and about the compensation plan. But it's allowed people to get belief in the product that it will work for them, because everyone else in the room says, I tried everything too. But again, it's a product that makes you want to stick with it, not you have to stick to the product. And then when they struggle, they're more willing, not like, oh, I didn't feel good the first 2 days. How do I send it back? And then you're text messaging, no, it'll work for you. No, it'll work for you. I mean, come on. Like, you can do this. Remember that girl, she struggled. She tried 8 things. Like, this will work. It's detox. That's awesome. Well, if I text them, that's detox. That's awesome. No, that's detox. That's awesome. Your body's finally trying to get rid of the stuff you've been hanging on for years and years and years and years. And that's why you showed up. That's the solution. And if you say it that way, but don't text me that, I wouldn't receive that well. So you got to think about who you're talking to and how it's going to be received, not how you want to do it, if the success you want for your business. So again, I say that to my people at the products, align your commitment to your goals. I'm not telling you can never eat pizza. I'm telling you don't call me and say it's not working. I'm saying, oh, it's okay, you ate pizza. I do that sometimes too. Allow yourself grace, start again tomorrow. But don't blame our product, because our product works when you follow it. So, and then the magic of all of it is we're making it not weird for people to share with people. People want to bring people to events. I'm bringing a friend. Oh, I have a friend in town. I hope they can come next week. Are you doing one of these Thanksgiving week? And that's the excitement. So again, I haven't personally had people, and Jean on my team, yay, Jean just rank advanced to Crystal Manager and earned Disney. And she mentioned that she didn't personally enroll anyone on Saturday, but she had 3 people on her team that enrolled value packs. And then there was another person on that left leg that enrolled a value pack. So the beauty in showing up for your team and creating that community and watching that, again, is that what your heart cares about in this business, is rank advancing your people. So that's super exciting to see that community and to make it not weird. So people go from like, I had the products in the back of my office and hid my blender when everyone else went to lunch, to I'm doing it right there in front of everyone because I feel good and other people deserve to feel that good too. You know?
That's
so
awesome.
Then Jean on my team, I haven't done this, but even taking the paper out of it and being more efficient in the follow-up, she has people getting out their phone, smartphones, isogenics.com, logging into their account. And right there, she has someone who enrolled 2 weeks ago that Saturday said, and that's the other thing, we're creating rank advancement for people that the person that just did on Saturday 2 weeks ago was there. We did the I share, you share shows. I didn't care about all those circles and bubbles and all that stuff, but I just feel good. And you have a choice. What are you going to eat? Because then at the end, after I say all that, I'm like, you guys, it's just food and you need to eat every day anyway. So we tell you all that. So, because you have to like build belief that it's different with something else. But these people that tell you that they were skeptics, put in their body and feel better, it's just food. and you have to eat. We could have saved a lot of time today, huh? We just like start right there. And you say something funny, you know, like, because it's true, and I believe that. And then Jean enrolls people in the value pack right there. Before they leave the door, their value pack's on the way. In Wisconsin, we get it on a Saturday. They get it on a Tuesday. They feel great by Thursday, and they invite someone else the next Saturday. So someone became a consultant on Saturday that 2 weeks ago wasn't enrolled, and then brought someone, and then brought another one. So allowing those people to rank advancement instead of casting the vision, you're being the vision. It's happening for them. And if you're going to show up, again, this business is not you personally enroll 1 million people, 100 people. It's to have 2 people who help 2 people who help 2 people. And so if you really get everybody truly seeing that and believing that, it's pretty awesome. And I fall in love with their stories and talk less and less about me and say, remember Jamie, remember Annie, remember this. And so it's been beautiful to have your own stories firsthand.
That's so awesome. And I can tell you guys from being there just that Saturday and watching it, when they had 17 people the next week, then Emily messaged me, this is how many people and this what happened. And this last Saturday, this is how many people and this what happened. But it's so awesome. I wrote down, they create rank advancements at the events. Like if people ask us, what's the secret? I'm like, enroll people and rank advance them. Enroll people and rank advance them. Enroll people and rank advance them. That's all we've done over and over for 12 years. That's the secret to Isogenics, is enroll, rank advance. It's a 2-part process. So the thing is, if Emily was just out, enrolling, it doesn't make a difference if you don't rank advance your people. I mean, we had a lady on our team call us, and she had been about 9 months, and she had over 50 people enrolled, but only 2 consultants. And she's like, I'm not making what I want. And I'm like, right, because 2 out of 50 had shared with 2 people. And so if you create that safe space, that's what Emily and her team are doing, is that they have a place now where even if you're brand new, you can come and bring new people. The new people bring new people. That's how they're rank advancing people so quickly, because even their brand new people are getting rank advancements. So something that's going to help you guys too, that Justin came home from the event, and we are going to put this on our website and give us 1 week, and it'll be out there. But it's going to be a place when you go to our website now, to justinandhilarycourtney.com, instead of having what's on the main page now, it's going to say start here. And it's going to have a simple 8-minute video. It's going to say how to use the products. And Bree's going to do a little 7 to 8 minute video on, these are the core 4 products. This is why they're important. Here's what they do. Here's how you're going to feel. Boom. Right below it is going to be a printable PDF of how to follow a 30-day system. Because people are like, where do I get to open the box video? Where do I print this sheet from? And we're just tired of everybody having to go to all these different places. We want it simple, right? Because if you guys feel like if your people knew what products to take, knew how to take them, knew how to share, so it's a simple system. So it's going to have 3 little videos. The first one is Bree, below it is the PDF. The second one is going to be simply get your food for free. And it's going to have me doing you share, they share. And then below it will be a PDF of you share, they share. So if they want to print it, they can put it up. But it's going to show how to get their food for free. And the second one is going to say, I don't know exactly the title, but it's going to be the compensation plan. And so we're going to do the compensation plan, and below it, they're going to have you able to print the executive chart. So it's just going to be on our page when you go there now. The big opening page is just 3 simple videos and 3 simple PDFs. But if you enroll somebody new, say I enroll Michaela, I can say to Michaela, go to this website and click the first video. They're going to be numbered 1, 2, 3. Click video number 1, and it'll tell you how to use your products. It's going to tell how to open the box, why they're important. Click the PDF. Then after you watch that, you can do the second video if you want. It's going to say how to get your groceries for free. And then Michaela can have a person watch that. And then step 3 is the compensation plan. And here's the PDF for the executive chart. So instead of sending people to 500 websites, it's going to be boom, boom, boom. And that way we need like more duplication. And what we're finding is our retention is high, but as our team grows deeper and deeper, we want that all the way down. And like Emmylou said, you've got to use the tools. And so we've got to become more effective in every single person. So if it's 8 people down from, Danielle enrolls somebody, it's 8 people down from Danielle, it's the same process is happening. Because what happens is somewhere down the line, there's like a gap in the chain, and then somebody might not get picked up. Emmylou was found by Bree, so Emmylou had Bree. But if she hadn't have found her, who knows if Emily Lou would have ever done anything. So
God bless her.
yeah. So it's like the same idea, right? That, you know, when Amanda, you enroll somebody, the same thing happens. If it's 8 enrollments down, they're watching the same 3 steps, and nobody, you know, will get left behind that way. So we're super excited about that. We're hoping just like a week from now, it's going to be out there. You'll be able to go to, it's just justinandhilarycourtney.com, and that'll be on the main page. So you can send your people to that, and just a simple process once they start. So, and then we'll still have all the events tabs at the top, and they can click on events, or they can click on, you know, Monday night trainings and watch all these Zooms are recorded from every Monday night. They can still get all that, but on the main page is just start here, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So
nice.
We're hoping that simplifies it for everybody and makes it
That's awesome.
process. So anything you want to share, Emilu, in closing, like that you want to make sure they do?
I thought of a couple other things actually, because so on in Cascade, Iowa is where I'm from, and Saturday I had a team member sign up for a booth that ended up not being able to do it. So she got someone who's not even active to do the booth. I'm like, okay, well, we got to utilize this. So Hilari did a call, and we drove them to an event that was yesterday. So it was 3 hours from my house, and I'd pack my 2 kids, my 2 dogs, and pay $55 for my dogs to be boarded overnight and drive 3 hours, stay overnight to show up for this event. And she texts people, remind them to come to this event afterwards, like who was interested. We gave a holiday bundle as a giveaway and put your name in here and then come to the event. So she did that, and nobody came, but we got to talk to her. And again, your thoughts become you, right? So I'm like, I'm grateful because she showed up, because the girl who I've shared with her is a really good friend of mine, but her life doesn't totally have her in the business, which is fine. That's not where she's at, but she has people that I know, if they were, again, like Bree reached out to me, that she could be engaged. So then we got to sit there last night for 2 hours, me and her, and I got to tell her a lot of what I'm telling you guys, and then belief in the product. Because the other thing that's going on is in La Crosse, Wisconsin, I have another team that I'm starting up, where on Tuesdays I'm doing an event every Tuesday at 7 o'clock for the salon owner who just enrolled. And she's not going to end up doing, you know, a whole lot with the business, but she has hairstylists that are. And so why I'm committed again to doing all this right now is I think this La Crosse thing is going to take a little bit to get people in the rhythm of inviting people and getting there. But I'm going to show up, because all these hairstylists are going to hear all these people through the holidays not feel well, and they're going to see me. And even if they don't enroll, there are people in their chair, they're going to start to hear how they talk. And the whole thing that I'm doing right now with everything is creating I'm working for January. When people want to finally start something in January, and they look at Jenny's before and after picture and she's still using it, or, you know, your consistency with all of you with the products, that's really why. So everyone wants to take off during the holidays, but even if every now and then in the midst of people's crazy life, they see healthy through the holidays, Tuesdays, La Crosse, Saturdays, Toma, Sundays, Cascade, and we're there, then when it is their time and they are ready, then they're willing to come to an event, and they save you all that back and forth on your phone. And then they enroll right there, and then they want to come back because that's where they were exposed, just like they want to buy the ultimate or value pack because that's what they were told. So it's the whole thing of, again, showing people. I watched Bree do the presentation over and over and over again on Zoom when I started, and then you start to memorize how you can do it. So Hilari had a great point that we do these Saturdays, and we should have our team, as our team grows places, Zooming it out. So then my few people in Cascade and, you know, everywhere can have 2 or 3 people in a living room, and we're doing the same thing every time. And even as I'm going to change my products, and I'm not even going to talk about the products, so we'll come and do an introduction. I'm going to do the Isogenics Advantage video, that 11-minute video, because it says what you need to say, answer product questions. I share, you share the script about value pack, or the ultimate pack, value pack. Everyone can do that everywhere. So those tools. So that's why I'm doing all that right now, though, is just to work smarter, not harder. And then the more product users you have when you first start, then it takes so much pressure off of you. So it's not like I have to always support my people. Then the people that come to events, a lot of times I just stand there and take pictures of people that talk to each other. And it's just really cool to see how that's working on a bigger scale. So it really takes a lot off of you if you're just willing to like hold the space. it's the most fun I've had doing this business with my own team. And it's allowed people, I think, to have the most success. And the people that haven't been able to get people there yet, or are not engaged fully in the process, do have a different experience. You know, again, what are my goals? Where do I want to be? How did other people get there? And then find the way that works with you, that aligns with how you are guided in your business.
Awesome. Well, I am super excited. I don't know if you guys have any, I know we're close to an hour, so I don't want to have it be long enough, but does anybody have any questions? You could just say your name, where you're from, if it's about like events that you want to ask Emmylou.
Hey, Emmylou, I have a question.
Oh, go Erica.
Oh yeah, who's talking?
Oh, sorry. Hey, girly. Great call.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Erica.
Hi, Erica.
I'm from Michigan, you guys. Can you go through when you said you start really briefly with the products and just, you said cleanse takes toxins out. And can you just go through that again really quick?
When I say toxins out, nutrition and organs.
Yeah, or when you're going through the products really quick.
I think I'm actually going to stop that and do isogenics, because I don't think other people can do that. Even though it's simple, I don't think they can keep it simple, concise, not getting into products, or don't worry, you're going to eat on a cleanse day. It's like, maybe people weren't worried about that, and then you put that out there. You know what I mean? So like individually, I'd rather like have people come and they're part of a community. So then they're all cleansing on the same day. So they're all helping each other. So it's not me, again, with my thumb saying, are you doing this? Are you doing that? Because I want to check in, but I want a group of it doing it. So I could tell you what I'm going to say, but I'm really going to change it probably for like our very next one and do that 11-minute Isogenics Advantage video. And because that's duplicatable. That's what someone else can do. People don't think they can go to Thanksgiving and give the really quick product presentation that I'm giving. And if they can, the person that heard their presentation isn't going to be able to go show the next person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to try that.
Great.
I don't know how it's going to work, but that's how my presentations are going to go, is who's on the products. How do you feel? Are you ever going to go back? Isogenics Advantage.
Where are you guys, where are you guys hosting these on Saturdays?
There's a person on my team that has a studio. So there was one awesome chick, Annie, that has a yoga studio that we did the first 10 weeks. And then we got another person on our team that had a space that was just even a little bit more accessible. And I would tell people, if you don't have a space, go to those businesses and try to recruit those people, or at least say, hey, can I just come in here? And they're going to see you show up and be happy and be like, oh, we just talk about products that feel good. You know, it's awesome. Oh yeah, our team's growing. And so I just need to have more space. Then eventually they'll probably be on your team, or, you know, it's just kind of a good way to do something. Cool. But yeah, I'm grateful to have the space, because the people on my team show up. So that's definitely a gift. But it started with 2 or 3 of us. And then this person joined our team and set, you know, late August, I think. So if you build it, they will come. And at my event, we always know the next event. So always have a sheet of paper, always know like Saturday night, whatever. So people, you're always directing. And same thing when they can't come, you always want to say, oh, I could come Saturday, or I'm busy Saturday. No problem. We're going to be here the following Saturday or the following Wednesday, you know. So I'll let you know when we're having the next one. You already know. It's there. It's set. Well, I'm out of town the next 2 weekends.
I got one question for you.
Every Saturday.
Yeah, Lisa, hold on. It's just such a huge part of why they're having that success, that we already tell them the next one. So like when I went up there with her, we got ready to do this Saturday at 10:30, and I said, okay, when's your next Saturday? And they were like, we don't know for sure. And I said, what about next Saturday? Would you do it next Saturday at 10:30? And Emily was like, sure, why not? So we announced that, and then they know to come. And that's why for some of you, who are like, well, I'm doing one a month, or like every 3rd Thursday, people they have a busy life. They're like, can I invite people tonight? Was that the 3rd Thursday? Is it the 2nd Tuesday? Is it every other week? Like I told Emily, I'm like, is it convenient maybe for your life to have one every single week? No, but guess what? CB and I did one every Monday night for almost 7 years, you guys, at 7 o'clock. I had 2 babies in that time. It was 45 minutes each way from my house. But doing that consistently, that leg has over 30,000 people on it for us. Do you think that was worth it? Yes. And there were some nights nobody went but her and I. We were like, oh, well, we'll just call people. Oh, well, it's doing what you don't want to do is get you. I mean, there's some days, right? For me, like, I'm like, dang, I just want to eat the chocolate cake and not do the treadmill. But I see the results of that if I do that consistently. And if that's how you treat your business, you'll just do it if you feel like it, you'll always be stuck. And then you'll say it didn't work. And it's not that it didn't work. It's that you weren't willing to commit and do what it takes to get to the freedom. You know, it's right on the other side is the freedom. So, you know, it's, Emmylou, if you're doing that consistently, like we talked about today with you and Lisa, you're doing this consistently, that's how you're going to stay in, you know, the millionaire in action, leader in action. That's how you're going to earn, you know, those different things. Is the consistency is the key. Is so important. So Lisa, was it you who had a question? I thought I heard your voice.
I just had, I was just wondering, Emmylou, are you finding like what time tends to be the sweet spot on the Saturdays? And I was my question. I will tell you, up north at the UP this weekend, I did do that the Isogenics Advantage video, and that like helped me so quickly to answer so many questions, and I just got to sit back and let them. So like Rebecca and I shared a little bit of how we started and everything, and then we turned on the video, then because we already did polls on a little Facebook event page, so we knew why people were there. But and then we did that video, and I kind of went a little bit more and like showed them a little bit of like the ancillary products that I knew that people were interested in, like the heart booster, the immune booster, but kept those real simple. And then one of them was a Hockey Moms one, so I did a lot on the AMP products, but that was it. But what time are you finding there's like a sweet spot time-ish? That's what I was wondering.
Because we could, now that we're doing the apps, because I think someone, the New Zealand couple that I watched, I'll get that to Hilari so she can get that redistributed to you guys. But they said people loiter at those things because they like want to know what to do. So that's why it's really like, awesome. I share, you share, here's the packs. Okay, so you guys interested? Yeah, get out your smartphone, pull up isogenics.com, and then just start leading them through. Okay, enroll a customer. So here's the packs, and just start like rocking it. And I think you could get out of there by 11:30. I think you could really noon if you really like, you know, the key is when people start talking about their product experience to make sure, you know, that's probably the determining that's the thing that gets long sometimes. But sometimes Lisa, that's what the community needs.
They're starting at 10:30 is what time they're doing on Saturdays. I think that's what the start time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I just couldn't hear that part.
Yes. And 7 p.m.s on Tuesday nights. So we'll see how that works. I have no idea. That one's new. So.
Yeah. And you guys, one thing when they're loading people, when you're enrolling people, and this is a huge factor if you're seeing like, you know, your cycles sway at all right now, is that look how many people you're converting to associate. That was one thing with Emmylou. We were like, okay, all these preferred customers, no more. Like they all are associates, because Emmylou can't call them up and be like, oh my gosh, Hilari, you're holding, you know, 6,000 BV. You could have cycled, you know, and made $300. So every single enrollment is becoming an associate. And the company asked me to train at New Year's kickoff, and they said, tell us your conversion conversation. And I was like, I don't have a conversion conversation. We enroll people as associates. Like it's not a conversation later. It's when we enroll people, they're associates that same day. So if I enrolled Emmylou, we put in her order, we click on the purple box, put in her information, I leave. It's all one step. And you guys, that makes a massive difference if you're not doing that, because people have no sense of urgency to get to manager, and you can't go back to them and say, look at your volume. So one thing I would really highly recommend is go to your back office and click view your personally enrolled, and look, if you see anything that says PC, you need to call every one of those people, not text them, but call them and say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I was doing you a disservice by not helping you become an associate. You may never want to share with anyone, but I am. And so you'll benefit from what I'm doing. And that's how I would go back to those people. But you want all of those people to become associates, even if they just want the product. Like we enrolled 2 ladies this week, Patsy and Lisa, and both of them are associates. Even though that wasn't, you know, neither one of them said, I want to tell anybody. But because of that, as I enroll people this week, then I'm able to call them and say, oh, Patsy, you already have 3 people below you, you know, and she can see that. As a preferred customer, she can't see any people below her. She can't see any volume, nothing. So it's really important at the time of enrollment everybody becomes an associate. So no more PC. If you have PC, get them out of there. Because you guys want to create legacy. Yeah. And what you do, your people will do. So if you're not sharing, you share, they share, they're not going to. If you don't get people to associate at the time of enrollment, they won't. It's duplication, duplication, duplication. So.
And here's the other thing, let me add with the events real quick. So when we're doing them Saturday, Tuesday, like lacrosse, and then Cascade has theirs going on now, and you guys all have teams on different legs and stuff. At my Saturday event, I'm always saying, now, if you know, because you have new people every single week, so that's where consistency pays too. On Saturdays, that brand new person, I'll say, you know, people in the lacrosse area, I will be there on Tuesday night. You can send them, I can talk to them, they enroll with you, and that helps pay for your groceries and pay you back for your pack right away. And so that's why I have to be consistent, because there's one or two new people coming every time, and they might know that one awesome person that's willing to drive an hour from somewhere in Minnesota to La Crosse, Wisconsin. So that's what I hope is going to create, that's what I hope we're going to continue to create with this, is a place for our team to keep sending people. And as it grows, then we need to be there every week, because there's new people who know new people. So
awesome, girl.
Hey, Hilari,
I'm so excited
say
for
something
you.
real quick. I know we're
Yeah.
like over time, but I just have to say something really quick. And it'll take me like 60 seconds. I mean, I can't get off here without letting everybody know, first of all, obviously how amazing this woman is. I get the honor of working with her, talking to her 5 times a day, 3 in the morning. I don't know what I would do without this girl. I've been in 3 years longer than her, and she teaches me something every day. And I'm so grateful. But there's 2 things about Emmylou you have to know. She has faith, not fear. She has so much faith and not fear, and it shows so much. She just goes into everything that way, and she is tied to the person's heart. She is not tied to their outcome. And you see that when you work with her and hear her, she just gets to their heart. That's what she's tied to. It's never about her, and it's never about their outcome, whether they say yes or no. I've never really worked so close with someone like her, and she has taught me so much. But her heart, she is so tied to the person's heart, and she just doesn't have fear. She just has faith, and I just love watching her, and I'm grateful. And you all probably saw that. I mean, she did an amazing job here. But I just thought those 2 things are super important. So if you can kind of remember that as you're doing your events, just be tied to that person's heart, no matter what. I mean,
their timing might change. Their timing might change, and so you don't want to make them feel bad about the reason they can't tell you that they can't say yes right now. But you can just say, I've been in a situation where I've wanted something, I couldn't say yes. And you just love them. And if you're consistent, then they're going to come back in a week or 2 weeks or next month, and they're going to love that. I just enrolled someone that I talked to before, right away at the beginning. So yeah, thanks, Bree. We're on a gifted team, Hilari and Bree and everybody. So I didn't tell you guys anything that I didn't pick up from somewhere else. So just go with energy and posture and figure out what your why is and how you're going to do it.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for being on. We will be back on next Monday night, 7 o'clock Central. So get your teams on, and this call will be posted on our website, justinandhilarycourtney.com by Thursday. So have a great week. Bye, everybody.